Alright guys, how's it going? Now before I get into this video, if you're new to my channel, I make these videos for people that have followed my work online for the last 26, 27 years with my Cop Talk website and obviously Cop Talk TV, this YouTube channel. So, I've got a lot of people that, follow my work and stuff like that, and I consider that everybody that watches my videos, that participates, leaves nice comments as my friends. Alright, so newcomers are welcome. I want you to hang around, but often you get newcomers that come along and start running their mouths. We just haven't got time for that, right? Or any patience. We have a zero tolerance here. If you run your mouth, you'll be gone, all right? So, what I do in the morning is I review the Spanish football dailies. I live in Spain, so I go and check out the Spanish print media. Marca, AS, Sports, to see if there's any mention of Liverpool, Zubimendi, for example, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the Real Madrid situation, Cuba that was linked with us before, Mamadashvili at Valencia. We don't follow the Spanish newspapers because we believe what they say or we take it as gospel or anything like that. It's so that I can say to people, look, this is what they're claiming, with regards to Zubimendi today, for example, or this is what they're saying about Trent. You form your own opinions, the grown-ups, we want to know what they're saying in Spain, right? I want to know personally what they're saying about Zubimendi, whether he goes to Liverpool or not. And, people come on my channel sometimes, I don't want to know any more about Zubimendi. Well, if it says Zubimendi in the title of the video, don't watch the fucking video then. Do you know what I mean? So I just need to make that perfectly clear before we get into this video. And I think one of the main reasons that I review the Spanish football dailies is that people that watch these in the morning, and I do them every day of the week, they can then see what isn't being written, because that clique of journalists that write about Liverpool FC, before I was doing these reviews, they were telling people this was in the media, and I was saying it wasn't, right? So this just enables you to see what is and isn't in the print media. Sorry, and like I say, we don't take what they say as gospel, but it's interesting to see what they are claiming. Now, I have been out. I've been to the cafe and I've got a few coffees. My chick went with me today. She's visiting from England, and I had a nice bocadillo. Thank you to Gareth Turner from Coppints of Anfield for getting me a coffee this morning, and anybody else that may have done that as well through the super thanks thing. Right, so obviously in today's video we're going to be talking about Martin Zubimendi. He's on the front page of AS. Basically, Zubimendi, the new Cruz. We're going to get to that in a minute. This is basically all about Real Madrid's interest in him, okay? And as to how serious that interest may be. There's also a little bit here down the side. I don't know if you can't see that on here. There's just another bit there as well about the feeling at Real Sociedad with regards to this player. There is a mention of Liverpool in here, but nothing for you to waste your time on if you haven't got any time or you can't stomach watching one of my long videos. With regards to Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, just to save you time, there's a little reference to, last night. That's about it. I don't think there's anything that you really need to concern yourself about, any of the reporting or claims in Spain today. There's nothing major about Trent, for example. The last 2 days, yesterday we had AS, front page was Trent, I think it was yesterday. Or was that the day before? I don't know. The last 2 days, basically, AS and Marca both banging on about Trent and Real Madrid. But today, relatively quiet, to be honest with you. So you don't really need to watch more of the video unless you're really interested in what they're saying about Trent and also about Zubimendi. And like I say, I'm interested in what happens with this player after the effort that we put in to try and sign him. I know some people have zero patience with him. They think, he rejected Liverpool. But, there was the coverage last week, whatever it was, saying, Zubimendi didn't find it hard to reject Liverpool. Well, and that gets you back up. But he didn't say that. If you look at it in another way, it was, I didn't find it hard to stay at the club I've been with since I was 6 years old or something. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's just the media, how they can wind you up and whatnot. Some people may think he bottled it. I think he's just very loyal to his club, and I wish I was seeing this kind of vocal loyalty from Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example, right? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we'll get into it. So the front page of AS today is basically Zubimendi, the new Cruz. Madrid want a player to strengthen their midfield. This is all the little bits that are here that go with the headline. Real Madrid want a player to strengthen their midfield. His age, price, and position make the Real Sociedad player the top candidate for them. The big Premier League clubs are also after his signing, and obviously that's Liverpool, Manchester City. I'm not sure they mentioned Arsenal, but I think they mentioned those on the spreading side. So this here is page 2, which takes up all of the page really, and then it goes on to page 3 as well. So the club wants a means to renew and strengthen the midfield. So okay, so basically this is Real Madrid. They want to strengthen the midfield. From my understanding is that they're looking for a creative midfielder, but this is also this position as well. But there's not a lot of emphasis and urgency on Zubimendi, even though this is he's under consideration at Real Madrid. We'll get to that in a minute. His age and price make him a candidate, but Real Madrid will have to fight with the greats of the Premier League for his signing. So basically, Real Madrid's search, if you like, the club has started working to find the ideal replacement for Toni Kroos. One of the top names on their agenda is Martin Zubimendi, 25 years of age, who is seen as the natural successor. In the article, Zubimendi is likened to players such as Xabi Alonso and Rodri, a pivot who both plays and enables his teammates to play. Market evaluation. No official contact has been made between Real Madrid and Real Sociedad as yet. And Real Madrid are treating this as a strategic position, carefully analysing market options. So in other words, a bit like Liverpool monitoring FC, right? So basically, Real Madrid have an interest in this player. He's not a priority target. He's not someone that they're going all out to try and get. They're just analysing the market and saying, Zubimendi would be a good addition to the squad, as Rafa Benitez would say, for sure. He'd be a good addition, very, quality. Rafa again, Rafa, as Tomix would, don't matter. If you've been around here a long time, you know some of these funnies that we try and fail miserably with. So, basically that Real Madrid is saying, he could be something to be worth bringing in, but let's just monitor everything and see what all the options are before they do anything, right? So that's what they're saying, as treating it as a strategic position. That's what that means. Profile, his age, his price and skill set align perfectly with Real Madrid's requirements. They say 60 million release clause, with a contract expiring in 2027 is considered affordable for his calibre of player. And they also mention the agent connection as well, that Zubimendi's agent, Inaki Ibanez, I never know how to pronounce that name, Ibanez. You know what I mean, don't you? Also manages, obviously, Xabi Alonso. Some of you will remember that from when we went through the summer dedicated to Zubimendi. Now, there is an article, which one is it? Oh no, you can't see it. It's just off screen, which goes on to page 3 here. This bit. There's like a journalist piece here who says, absolute calm at Real Sociedad. So they're saying that they're really calm about the interest in their player. Basically, I'm going to skip through this full article with you. Don't forget, this is translated. The Real Sociedad are very calm, at least in the short term. They are very confident there will be no unpleasant surprises in January. Tranquility reigns in the offices more so than last summer, when Zubimendi was a step away from Liverpool. In other words, like in Spain, tranquilo, calm, chilled. No one's flapping, but in the summer there were. Despite being offered, if he'd gone to Liverpool, he would have earned 4 times as much money. But Zubimendi showed that, fortunately, there are still some people for whom money isn't everything. And I think that's another tick for this lad as well. This isn't about money. He didn't stay at Real Sociedad because of money. He didn't just jump ship and go to Liverpool. He genuinely found it hard to leave Real Sociedad. And unless you really understand this particular region of Spain and how much it means for these players born in that region to play for one of those very special clubs, you'll never understand it, right? Even I didn't, I'm not patronised or anything. Like, I didn't understand it until I looked into it all, right? So this isn't just about being with, from a club from a young age, and I'm finding it difficult to leave and further my career. it's a massive deal to be from that region to play for one of those clubs, right? And my personal opinion is that he did want to play for Liverpool, but he wanted to leave with the club's blessing, and he wasn't given that blessing. Do you remember, all the articles at the time, Real Sociedad saying, you'll have to go to the La Liga offices and go and deal with the buyout yourself and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was real bad fucking animosity in that, and he couldn't do it, right? So I know that even the most passionate Liverpool fans, fuck him if he don't want to play for Liverpool. And trust me, I'm like that. But I looked at this one differently, and I thought, do you know what? I wish we had players like that. I really, really do. So that's why I have an interest in Zubimendi and what he decides to do next in his career. I think that Liverpool is still interested in him, but that's purely speculation on my part. I'm not a Twitter twat ITK or something. Okay. It still exists. They're talking about his loyalty. One of those rare players, not motivated by money, although it's increasingly rare. He has the love for his team's colours. Everything is calm for this winter, but in the summer, we'll see what happens. It will be the next chapter in a story that seems never ending. And I agree with that. I said this when the window closed. I don't think he would walk out on them again, in January. I think if he's going to leave Real Sociedad, he'll leave in the summer. And I do think he will leave this time, because I think he stayed loyal, but if he wants to further his career, then maybe he has to leave, Manchester City, they talk about Manchester City and Arsenal have been chasing him for a long time. This particular journalist. He's not mentioned Liverpool, this journalist, which is quite ironic, actually, because everybody knows it was Liverpool that had the advantage. I mean, he has mentioned Liverpool, so I take that back, but he's going on to emphasise what Manchester United and Arsenal have been chasing him for a long time, so scrap that. And now Real Madrid appear, big news indeed. Such interest is not surprising. Zubimendi has it all: age, quality, as Rafa would say, for sure, potential, maturity, but he also has an unwavering attachment to his homeland. He still hasn't decided anything. It will be in the summer, advised by his agents and those closest to him, when he looks again at what the market has to offer, but not in January. Because although Zubimendi still doesn't know what he will do in 2025, the fact is that he has moved into an apartment in San Sebastian, which is not in his beloved Mount Ulia, in the Gross neighbourhood where he has always lived, on a one-year lease. So he's moved into an apartment not so long ago on a one-year lease. That's interesting. That's little things that you pick up from following this shit, right? Maybe it won't be interesting to you, but it is to me. So that's given rise to speculation about June, like what will happen at the end of the season, but not about the winter market. So maybe if you took a 6-month lease, the journalists would be saying, man, they might be off in January then. I love this shit, mate. At Real Sociedad, they do assume something could happen next summer, but they're very calm about January. No one thinks he will leave his beloved Real Sociedad halfway through the season, because that would seriously harm the team, and Zubimendi is more than committed to the club of his heart. Okay, I broke it down further, but I'd be repeating myself. I think it just talks about calm. The article, of course, mentions that he nearly joined Liverpool, where he would have earned 4 times his current salary. However, he chose to stay, highlighting his loyalty importance of non-financial factors like playing for his boyhood club. Also interest from Man City, Arsenal, Real Madrid, which is basically the reason why this article is here. This isn't an article about what's Zubimendi going to do. This is an article about Real Madrid's interest in him. And it's also on. This is important as well. When people say Trent's mentioned in the papers today, if you came here, you would know what was being said. But this is important that this is under the Real Madrid section of the newspaper. The opening pages. Obviously, this AS is a Real Madrid focused paper, but as you move on, it goes into Barcelona and other clubs and international. So if someone says, if I'm not around, all right, and someone says, oh, Trent's in AS or Marca, the first question you should say is, all right, okay, the reference to Trent today, is that in the Real Madrid sections of those newspapers, or is it in the international section? Because today, for example, Trent is mentioned, but he's not falling under Real Madrid, he's falling under the international coverage. Do you understand what I mean by that? You do, don't you? So I think if Trent's mentioned under the Real Madrid, it's more emphasis on them. If it's in the international section, they're just saying, oh, Liverpool played last night and Trent did this. We'll get to it in a bit, all right? So they talk about the other interests from those clubs. Nothing expected in January, as you know. And then there's just the translations. I'm not going to go through all that, but basically the underlining strong connection to the club and the city. Okay, so, right, well, we've done that. Okay, so we will now, there was nothing in sport today. Sport is the Pro Catalan, that's more of a Barcelona coverage, if you like. But they do touch on the other clubs as well. Now, okay, we're now going to go on to what was mentioned about Trent. Now, in Marca, again, like AS, this focuses heavily on Real Madrid. People see it as the official, well, not the official, the unofficial mouthpiece of Florentino Perez, the president. In Spain, they say that Perez writes the articles in Marca, which is something that you always need to think about, right? Obviously, he doesn't write them, but basically, if you're Perez, you know what I mean, like, you're on the phone to them and you say, you write this, right? So it's whether you believe that or not. Obviously, you get a lot of propaganda in these newspapers, but especially with Marca, you've always got to think, is that Perez, Real Madrid trying to unsettle, trying to give it the big fucking I am and all that, we're the best, or is it genuine reporting? Do you know what I mean? So Marca is the big Real Madrid paper, if you like. So there's an article in there, and it was under the international section, okay, because it's talking about Liverpool last night. Liverpool bring out the hammer against West Ham. Basically, just saying that, about Liverpool's, fucking smashed them, basically, hammered them, you know what I mean? But they do go on to the Trent, and from memory, I won't dig it out on screen. I don't think it's really important to you, but they do touch on Trent, and there was a picture of Trent giving it this, which I'm probably going to do another video about that shortly, actually. I know I did last night. I've slept on it. I've thought about it more. So the Trent celebration, they wrote, the celebration with his hand to his ear will cause a stir. In other words, it'll set people off. What does it mean? And they say about Arne Slot after the match, saying the way he celebrated should tell you enough. Now, what they didn't say in the print version today, but they did say last night after the game, Marca, on the socials and things, was, following Arne Slot's comments about the situation, was basically, it's not word for word this, it won't make any difference. He's already told Real Madrid he wants to move to them in the summer. So I think what they were trying to suggest last night was that Liverpool, whether you want to say Liverpool the directors or whether Liverpool the fans or all of us collectively, Liverpool are holding on to the hope that Trent, because of this, maybe that means he will renew with Liverpool. But Marco were basically saying this is irrelevant. He's told Real Madrid he wants to go to them. At the same time, the coverage, that we've seen. That the big one yesterday, 90% done, that means 10% of it isn't done because it can't be until January, right? So until something's signed and official, you never know what's going to happen in football. I don't know whether Trent will renew with Liverpool or whether he will go to Real Madrid. I think everything's pointing to Real Madrid, but if something breaks down somewhere, or if Real Madrid change their mind, then it doesn't happen. Trent might have said to them, and I reckon that's true, I will come to you if you come for me. But whichever stage of this that we've gone through this from the summer right up till now, Trent can think or consider or do whatever he wants. But if Real Madrid do not come in for him officially, then he doesn't fucking go there. It's that simple, right? And then, of course, he'll say, like I said, I don't negotiate my contracts in public. And I never thought for 1 minute of leaving this club. Fine. If that's what happens, if he signed with Liverpool, you're not going to get me coming out and saying, no, you're fucking wanting to go. I'll just go, thank fuck. That's done with, right? Can we just get on with it? Personally, I genuinely don't care if Trent goes or not. I'd rather he stayed. But I like Bradley. You know what I mean? And I just think that I just believe in it. Do you know what I think it is? What I think it is, and I can't back this up. It's purely my opinion, right? Purely speculating. Is I think that it's Bellingham that's got in his head, telling him about the life in Madrid, what it's like, the weather, the lifestyle, and all that. I mean, who would want to fucking live in Spain? But you know what I mean? It's not just about footballing reasons sometimes. You know, it might be about where you want to bring your family up. And I ain't got a problem with that if he wants to go. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like Bellingham's got in his ear. And because I've seen a change in his mannerisms and everything, and maybe I'm unfair thinking that. But I just see a different Trent on that pitch. I remember seeing Trent, you know, maybe, I don't know how long ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, I don't know. And I used to look at Trent and think, there's my future captain. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really, and I look at him now, and I've got to be honest, I know it's maybe really wrong, and forgive me if this offends you, but sometimes I just think, what a fucking prick. Do you know what I mean? And maybe that's just the resentment in me from being a fan and having to go through all this. I don't know. That when he did this last night, when Mo Salah, you know, when he went up to him and did that, I'm like, of all the people, not any other Liverpool player went like this around him, but he did. And I was like, what a fucking numpty. But straight away I'm thinking, he's like, there, you'll get your contract now, Mo. Do you know what I mean? It had to be something along those lines to do with stuff like that. But we don't know. You know what I mean? Please don't caps lock me to death and say that you don't know what you're talking about, you fat cunt. Because I'm admitting right now, I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I bet there's other people out there that think the same as me about all of that. Anyway, that's it. So I think I've covered everything for you in this video with what was in the media today. Like I say, we don't take it as, you know, set in stone. It's just, you know, newcomers come to my channel and they leave comments and they try to tell me, you know, and I don't mean tell me in a nice way. You get facetious people or nasty people, and, you know, like even someone said last night, you know, on Facebook, you know, I put the thing on, oh, this is what Marker is saying tonight, and they were like, since when have you been the Marker mouthpiece? It's like, I don't give a fuck about Marker. I am merely telling you what these Spanish friends of ours are saying. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean it's true or anything. I just think it's good. Maybe it's an age thing. As an oldie, you know, like me, I'm 50 now, granddad, right? You know, maybe when you get older, you do have more of an interest in, like, oh, I wonder what'll happen with that lad sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's it. I think we're done. Bought myself a soda stream recently. Fucking great. Reminds me of being a kid. My girlfriend's over from England, as you know. She's been getting right on my fucking nerves, though. I'm used to being on my own, you know what I'm saying? And, but on the plus side, yesterday she made a big banging fucking roast dinner. She made homemade shortbread and all that. She's up there now baking a quiche for this afternoon. she's preparing some meatballs for a meatball dinner tonight, apparently. Do you know what I mean? She's over the lounge. She took all the dog hairs off from Remy, you know what I'm saying? She sorted all the kids. She's doing everything. She said we should have a lie down at 2 o'clock this afternoon. She said, you know what that means, don't you? Well, I don't know if I've got any aspirin. And besides, it's my best friend's day off in America. And at 1 o'clock, which is 12 minutes from now, which is 7 in the morning, upstate New York, my boy will be messaging me saying we're going on Xbox. That's the only thing I'll be jumping on this afternoon, guys. So, yeah, it's nice having someone here, you know what I mean? But it's, anyway, are you watching darts again? Do you know what I mean? Darts is on PDC World Darts Championship. I got my daughter message me in England about the darts, and she's like, who's that? I said, my daughter. You know, my daughter last night, you're watching darts, Dad, Peter Wright's fucking winning. Do you know what I mean? Darts. Maybe you don't like it. Yeah, but then there's the other side, isn't there? You know what I mean? Like, I've got a Keith coming down in a minute. I've got to talk, you know, in case you can hear me, you know what I'm saying? Right, listen, I'm up. So what do you think then about today's update? Did I explain everything for you? All right. Like I say, I enjoy doing the Spanish football dailies. I like going out and reviewing them for you. Cafe's closed tomorrow, he told me today. My Atletico Madrid supporting owner of the cafe where I go. But I'll still review everything for you. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll leave it with you. Let me know if there's anything in this video that's interested you. I do appreciate you. Please thumbs up the video. It really helps the channel. If you're a lurker of mine and you enjoy my content, it doesn't mean you agree or disagree with me or whatever, you know, up or down. But yeah, thumbs up. That's what all the kids say. So there you go. Please drop me a comment. Your comments are really important to me. And if you want to buy me a beer, although I'm not having a beer today, my mates are going out today, but, or a coffee's better. Hit the super thanks button, the love out under the video, and I will give you a shout out in tomorrow morning's morning briefing. You can become a channel member, and if you really want to put a smile on my chubby cheeks, you can become a VIP member. You are a fucking legend if you do that. Just saying. It's all in the video description. Look, God loves a trier, all right? This fucking electric don't pay for itself. All them newspapers. Right, I'll see you later, guys. Have a great day. And hopefully we'll speak real soon. And don't forget, I think I'm doing a live tonight at 7 o'clock UK on here, if you want to come along and talk about any of this bollocks. All right, cheers, guys.